Let's move on now. U.S. elections on the 5th of November are a center point of sorts in West Asia. Lebanon's Prime Minister Najib Mikati has expressed hopes for ceasefire with Israel before Tuesday. On the Israel-Iran front, there are concerns that Iran will strike back at Israel before that date. In a televised interview with Lebanese broadcaster Al Jadid, Lebanon's Mikati said that he became more optimistic of the truce as the U.S. envoy is due to travel to Israel on Thursday. Mikati added that a ceasefire will be linked to the implementation of the United Nations resolution that ended the 2006 war between Israel and Hezbollah.
Honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. But we are doing everything we can, and we must always keep trying and remain optimistic. Hopefully in the coming hours or days, we'll see a ceasefire. I should mention that in my conversation with him, he was very hopeful, even though there were reports in the media suggesting otherwise.
The U.S. State Department also confirmed that two White House officials, Brett McGurk and Amos Hochstein, are in Israel to engage on issues including a diplomatic resolution in Lebanon and an end to the conflict in Gaza. CIA Director William Burns is also in the region. Efforts are on to reach a deal before voting in presidential elections in the U.S. on November the 5th.
And one of the things that they are going to discuss is how we can find a diplomatic resolution that fully implements a UN Security Council Resolution 1701, something that we have not seen over the past few years.
On the other hand, Hezbollah's new leader, Naim Qassem, said the group will agree to a ceasefire with Israel under acceptable terms, but added that a viable deal has yet to be presented. The statement came as Israel's Security Cabinet met to discuss a possible truce. Hours before that, the Hezbollah chief had said that the armed Lebanese group will continue on its path of war with Israel.
If the Israelis decide that they want to stop the aggression, we say we accept, but under the conditions that we see as appropriate and suitable.
But on another front in West Asia, there are signals of tensions continuing near boiling point. A CNN report citing a senior Iranian source says Tehran will deliver a definitive and painful response to Israel's recent attack on its territory. The attack, he said, is likely before the U.S. presidential elections on November 5th. The source quoted in the report claimed to have inside information on deliberations in Tehran on retaliation against the Israeli strikes. Israel has been expecting a potential response to its attack on October 26th, in which Iranian military bases were targeted in the Ilam, Khuzestan and Tehran provinces, killing 4 Iranian soldiers. All right, let's link to our correspondent, Anas Malik, who is in Tehran, I understand. Anas Malik, good to see you. What have you been able to gather in Tehran now that you are there? What are people or Iranians telling you?
Well, the mood, we're 1 week in, and we just got to Tehran a short while back. 1 week in, the mood here, it's a bit of a mixed emotion. It won't be wrong to say. The truth with regards to the Israeli strikes lies somewhere between the claims that both sides have made. That's what the people also understand. But going forward, I think tomorrow will be an important day as to when Ayatollah, the supreme leader, is expected, and the underlying word is expected, to address the Friday prayer gathering. And in case if he does, which is a rarity of such events, that is what will decide and lay out the policy structure going forward in case if whatever the Iranian response would be. But where I am right now, this is the road, this is the main highway. Life is going on, the hustling, bustling is going on as usual. It's a prominent city center where I'm standing right now, Eric. As I said, the people here, they have mixed emotions with regards to what happened last week. But one thing that they've said is that in certain areas, it was certainly heard with quite a lot of impressions, but most of the areas in Iran, it wasn't, the strikes weren't really heard, contrary to what the impression had been in a section of the Western media. Eric?
All right. How many days are you going to spend in Tehran? Maybe you can tell our viewers, and what will you be doing in Iran?
Well, we're here for a couple of days. Remember, on the 2nd of November, is when Iran marks 45 years of the invasion of the US embassy here, on which a very famous Hollywood movie has also been made. A book had also been written about it. So that would be commemoration, and that comes just on the cusp of the big US elections. Everything revolves around it, but the people here that I have spoken to, they say that they're all hinged to what the Ayatollah has to say tomorrow, in case if he makes that public appearance, because in case if that's there, then essentially that would be the policy going forward Iran will be opting for. In the midst of that, of course, the other important factor would be the much talked about ceasefire agreement or ceasefire deal in Lebanon. In case if that materializes, then Iran's plans with regards to any further strikes or escalations would be greatly be diminished, and we would see considerable peace coming back to West Asia in case if the ceasefire deal materializes. Eric?
Okay, let's see how that pans out. That is our correspondent, Anas Malik in Tehran, Iran. Thank you, Anas.